So we're going to have you start just by saying your full name and then your title, and then we'll go through the questions in the order that they were on the sheet. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, whenever you're
Okay.
ready.
Are you going to mention at all when I was president, or is that not relevant?
I will not be in the video, so if you want to refer to the timeline,
Yeah.
then that would be good to
Fine,
state
yeah,
it in
yeah.
your answer to the question. Okay? Ready?
Yep.
Okay, just full name and title.
My name is John Reilly, president of the Chicago Council on Foreign Relations at that time.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, John, tell us a little about the history of the Chicago Council and why it was first established.
After the Treaty of Versailles was defeated in the Senate at the conclusion of World War I, a group of Chicagoans concluded that the United States might retreat into isolationism, and the Midwest was the center of that. They founded this organization to try to prevent that, to encourage the United States, by then already the dominant economic power, to play an active role in the world.
Great. And so why is the Chicago Council important to Chicago? What's its historical significance to the city? And if you can just say the Chicago Council.
The Chicago Council main contribution throughout its 90 years, but especially during its first 50 years, was to make it clear to Chicago, both the public and its leaders, that isolationism would be fatal to America and to the world. In later decades in the 20th century, after a critical mass of professional people arrived on the scene, the Council would help assist them in preparing to play an active role in the increasingly globalized world, where issues of trade and investment and other economic issues were of critical importance.
Great. During your term as president, the council began its public opinion surveys. Why do you think it's important for the council to do these surveys? And how have the surveys enhanced discussions of foreign relations?
We were surprised in the fall of 1974 when I got a call from the president of the Ford Foundation and asked us to conduct a nationwide study of both public opinion and leadership opinion. George Bundy, the president of the Ford Foundation, had been asked by a group of foreign policy leaders, including Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, to commission a study to determine whether the new president, President Ford, coming into office under very difficult circumstances, could count on a basis of public support, leadership support, for the kind of internationalist foreign policy which the United States had followed. They asked us to do it. We felt it was important, not only because the Ford Foundation asked us, because in our role it's important to know what issues are important both to the public and to leaders and how they stand on those issues. So the first time we did this study, the results showed the United States was not retreating into isolationism, that it still wanted to play an active role in the world. And the public opinion study, which we did over a period of 3 decades, every 4 years, would become our signature research project. It was widely circulated, not only in the United States, but especially in Europe, the Soviet Union, and Japan. It would be translated into other languages and would become a model for other foreign policy institutions to conduct public opinion studies.
Great. Several individuals who you drew into the council during your time as president early in their careers have now become important members of the council's board. What do you think that says about the council, their engagement over such a long period of time?
During the 3 decades that I served as president of the council, 1971-2001, I gave a very high priority to involving young people in our work, to identifying young leaders who would not only go on to play an important role in the council, but to play an important role in the United States generally. Examples are Jim Hogue, who became editor of Foreign Affairs magazine, Ken Dam, Deputy Secretary of State, Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Gerhard Casper, President of Stanford University, Bill McDonough, President of the New York Federal Reserve Board, Craig Kennedy, President of the German Marshall Fund, and many others. And this confirmed the wisdom, I think, of allocating large resources to young people's programming during that period.
Great. So for you personally, what's your most significant memory of the council?
My most significant memory is the ending of the Cold War and what followed in the spring of 1992, when former Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev came to the council, and although other leaders like Presidents Reagan and Bush, Chancellor Kohl, played a critical role in ending the Cold War, it was clear to the 3,000 council members who turned out to welcome Mikhail Gorbachev that he was the hero of the hour, and he, more than anyone else, played a decisive role in ending this conflict which had endured for almost half a century.
Great. Great. Okay, now just one last question.
Sure.
Is there anything else that you would like people to know about the Chicago Council? If you could just, share with the public your feelings about the council and its role and its importance in Chicago, what would you like to tell them?
Well, I think that one of the lasting contributions of the council over its 90 years of existence is that it played an important role in making Chicago an international city, particularly when in the early days of the council's existence, Chicago was the center of isolationism in the United States.